All right, and we are live everywhere. The best dang trucking show on the interwebs. We're getting it started today. I'm going to try to keep it a quick show today. It's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Hopefully people made some money this week on in the market. This started off super slow for me, but it then ended up going pretty good towards the end, so that's super exciting. I am happy it's Friday, even though I will be working Saturday and Sunday as well. So that's not super fun, but it is what it is. I want to compare some market trends. I want to go over at national average rate per mile. I want to talk about the market updates I do. So I'm going to do some videos calling carriers where they have trucks at in hot markets and see what their reaction was. I did one video just a second ago. So I will edit that up today and post it on there. That's for sure. So we are going to do that as well. And I don't know. Let's just get into it. I guess we got a couple of people in here, so I don't want to feel like waiting, having dead silent. So let's just start this on right now. Let me turn on my window here. Let me turn on my windows. My bad. 1 second. Sorry, the show's interactive now, and since it's became interactive, it's kind of harder for me to operate it. But let's take a look here. Let's take a look. All right. So we're basically going to start off with trend lines, weekly snapshots by the numbers. And we are going to go over this. Apply. Okay, good. Apply. All right, so let's go over spot load post first. So from October to September, September to October, October to October. Okay, right now we were down. Let me see so I don't lose this shit. October we were down, looks like minus 0.8% on a spot load post. Spot truck posts were up 0.35%, so that's not good. The van load to truck ratios down 6.1%. But if you take a look from 2024 to 2025 in October, compared this year with what we were last year, we're up almost 50%, 48.6% on the dry van load to truck, and the spot rates are about even, right? They're about even. But you can see the huge volume of the van loads to the truck ratio. So whoever tells me that we're better off in 2024 under the last administration and this year is horrible, there's absolutely no numbers to prove that. I mean, as you can see here, everything is showing that we are way better off than we were last year. If you take a look at the flatbeds is absolutely crazy. They're up 72.5% from last year, October 2024, compared to this year, October 2024. Which is absolutely nuts, dude. That's plus 72%, man. That's a huge number. Spot rates up 1.2%, and then the refrigerated trailers, dude. Holy crap! From October last year to October this year, they're up 93%, dude. That's almost 100% up on the refrigerated trailers. So whoever's telling me that, if somebody's oh, last year was better, this administration's ruining trucking. As you can see, just by looking at the numbers, that's 100% inaccurate and untrue. Volumes are up tremendously, from last year. So that's absolutely crazy if they're going to be saying stuff like that. Sorry, I think I got to lower my gain a little bit because my mic seems a little crazy loud. Filters, gain. All right, let me just lower this a little bit. All right, we should be good now. Fuel prices, they are up a little bit though from last year, plus 8.5%. So 8.5%. The fuel prices are up. That's not a good sign. The fuel prices should be down from last year, but obviously they're not. So volume wise, definitely a lot better. Fuel price wise, obviously we're up a little bit, so that's not that's not good. But then if we get into the national spot rates, the refrigerated trailers, they finally first time since I can remember recently, they surpassed the flatbed prices. So refrigerated trailers are at $2.52 a mile as of right now in November where we stand. And flatbed average per mile nationally is 2.48 cents per mile. Hey, what's up, Rocky? Happy Friday, my guy. And the dry vans are still high for a while, but I mean, it's not high, but the highest they've been in a while. The dry van national average is at $2.08. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, I think what's helping is getting cold outside. So the refrigerated trailers are probably getting more loads, probably taken away from the dry vans, and their average per mile is absolutely jumping up. So that's crazy, man. That's big for the refrigerated trailers. So you guys are beating the flatbeds. You are the number one trailer as of now, where we stand in November right now. So, I mean, that's good for whoever's driving refrigerator trailers, I guess. And then fuel's up 0.78% from last week. And national average is at $3.87 for diesel per gallon at the pump. So that's absolutely crazy, man. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. I still can't believe the refrigerator trailers passed up the flatbeds, because the flatbeds have been absolutely on a rampage for like a long time, dude. Probably like a year plus. The flatbeds have been the #1 trailer, but as you can see, the refrigerator trailers passed it up. Let me get into here. All right, what do we got? Company flatbed here, 21 miles per week to Midwest Company, or market rate fall. If you're just doing Midwest, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to tell. I have to take a look at the flatbed market. Let me see here. Let me take a look at the flatbed market, see how it's looking over here. The Midwest does not look the best for the flatbeds, at least as of today. If you're saying for the last week, let me do the 8-day average for the last 8 days. Let me check it out. Maybe I can answer this question for you. All right, 8-day average. I mean, depends where in the Midwest you're driving, bro, but what is going on with the computer, dude? It is lagging, dude. It shouldn't be lagging. It's a good computer. Okay. The fuck just happened? Sorry, man. I'm trying to make this work, but I don't know why it's giving me market indexes. I didn't ask for any of this shit. I mean, Midwest still doesn't look that bad, bro. I mean, it's not. Okay. I guess we're going to have some technical difficulties right now. I'm not going to be able to look it up for you, man. I'm trying, but why is this market thing coming up? I can't see. Tight. Okay. All right, man. I don't know. I messed something up here, dude. Market 3 days. Market 8 days. Market current. All right. I don't know. I'm going to have to go to current, bro. Something's messing up here, but it's still not letting me click to it, dude. What is going on, dude? Oh, my God. Well, this is just messing up the live completely right now, but let me see. I mean, depends where if you're. It's not letting me click shit, dude. What the hell's going on? I know it's not my internet, man. I just literally upgraded to the fastest possible internet there is, and this computer. There you go. Now it's working. I mean, if you're in Ohio with the flatbed, bro, it should be decent. I mean, depends where you're going. Parts of Wisconsin are dead. Western Michigan is dead for the flatbeds. Indiana looks decent. Most of Illinois looks all right. So, I mean, it really depends, bro. I don't know what your lanes are. And if you're usually doing good, it's just an off week. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad week, dude. This week did start off super slow for us, but we're dry. So I don't want to give excuses for your company, dude. But if it's just one off week and you had the rest of your weeks were good, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Yuma to Chicago, 4,500 on Tuesday, 7,000 yesterday for rate chaser for what? For reefers? Because the reefers look like they just exploded right now, dude. They just zoomed right past the flatbed rate per mile, which is absolutely crazy. I know you hate box trucks, but can I kind of get an average rate per mile based off a dry van? I mean, like I said, man, I don't want to give you false information, but it's depending. The national, we just went over the national rate per mile for the dry vans is $2.08, which is crap. I mean, you're going to do better if you stay in certain markets. This is just overall average for everybody. With the box trucks, man, I really, like I said, I'm just not, you know what I mean? I don't do box trucks, so I don't want to give you false information, my guy. Wish I could help you, man. All good. Does look, yeah, this, like I said, this week did start off super slow for us, man. We kind of caught up a little bit towards the end right here. We're still not going to max out capacity, which makes me sad. But, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Next week is Thanksgiving, so it's going to be a short week, man. So next week's going to be a struggle. And then we got December, you know, we got Christmas, Jesus, bro. This is going to be so bad in trucking right now. So bad. We're going to be sitting around doing nothing, not making no money, and just crying, dude. That's what's going to happen. Knoxville, Tennessee, drive-in. Let me see. We're in Flatbed. Let me go to drive-in. Knoxville, Tennessee. Dude, this computer. I'm about to throw this computer, dude. I'm about to kick it. You guys are about to see me go off live and start breaking shit on TikTok Live, dude. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we're just going to wait a second. What is going on here, dude? Oh, Tennessee. It's not, dude, oh, my God, I'm about to break it, bro. I think this is the first time I'm getting angry since the heart attack on these beta blockers, dude. I think this DAT just defeated me. Bro. Oh, Knoxville. It's yellow market, 1953 on the loads posted. $279 on the trucks. I did have my buddy, like, I know he was in Tennessee, but he was like somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Kentucky right there, which is not too far from there. He said he grabbed the load for like $2,500 for 400 miles. So if you're like in an area where there's not a lot of trucks and they're in need, you know what I mean, of a load, they're gonna pay you, dude. So hopefully, good luck in Knoxville, and I hope you get something good, dude. Why is this not letting me zoom in? And it's just, I'm still not turning red though. I'm still not turning red. My blood pressure is still not going. Like these beta blockers are working, but my heart's starting to hurt because this is aggravating me right now, dude. What is going on? Jesus Christ, dude. I'm gonna have to log out and log back in a second. Zoom in, you stupid computer. All right, whatever. It is what it is. Owner operator, what's the average per mile? I should be to get on the load just to make sure I can cover my expenses. Psychology, well, you gotta know what your expenses are, dude. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're an owner operator, bro, you need to know like all your expenses are, dude. Fuel, insurances, every single deduction. You gotta be putting percentage away from like maintenance costs. I mean, you have to know your numbers, bro, and then you gotta go by that. And then not everything, like not every load has to be above whatever, dude. Like if you're in a bad market and you gotta take a cheap load to get out of there to get a better market, you gotta do that too, man. You know what I mean? So you gotta. It's a more complicated answer. It would like really like involve like sitting down and breaking a lot of shit down. But number one is you have to know what your cost is to operate. Do you think it's a good start with my own company and start finning carriers with all this stuff? Chave, I don't know what you mean by that. Could you explain better, bro? I don't know what finning means. Okay, will loads be done in Wednesday before Thanksgiving? Rod, I mean, I'm not a trucking or freight fortune teller, so I can't tell you, but I can know. Depends what market you're in, and depends if you want to drive before Thanksgiving. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be desperate, and they're going to want to book a truck, right? So if you're in a good area where they have loads they need to go, they're definitely going to pay you if you want to drive over Thanksgiving. Now, is every area going to be like that? No. So I mean, like I can't predict it, but I hope if you're going to drive, I hope you get some good money, bro. So make sure you're in a decent area on Wednesday, dude. Don't be like in like bumfuck nowhere, or you know what I mean? Or try to find a dispatcher job. Chave, I still don't understand your question. You gotta reword it a little bit, dude. Sorry. What software? It's a DAT load board under tools and market conditions. Fucking happy, bro. Stop ruining it. Don't ruin this live, bro. Okay, we'll be lower Wednesday. Don't ruin the live. Volume looks good for us. Volume looks good for us next week, but expecting to take lots of hits next week. Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know. We'll see. It's. I'm sure for the people that are going to drive, you are going to take some hits, but a lot of people are not going to drive. So that's actually going to make it even worse for you because there's going to be less people that want to drive. So yes, Ray Chaser, I do see brokers taking some hits next week for sure. It just sucks because it's not a full week, and I hate not full weeks because I want to move volume. Makes sense. Creator, what's up? What's up, Happy? You buy a new drill today? Okay.
Computer.
What's up?
Say what?
You buy a new drill today?
What's wrong with the computer?
I don't know, man. It's not the
I already
computer.
have enough drills.
It's a DAT thing, bro. It's not where my computer's fine. My computer's fast, bro. I just even got it upgraded with the water cooled system and everything, bro. I don't know what the hell's going on. But it is what it is, man.
You got a custom build one?
Yeah.
I got that. I spent $3K on mine.
I don't think I spent that
barely
much.
use it, bro. That just stays off for like everything about it.
Trade
Yeah, why is it lagging? Why is there like a lag in when you're answering me?
What?
Holy shit.
I don't know, bro. It's your...
Yeah, something wrong with it. It's live. Why don't you restart this shit?
No, there's nothing wrong with the live, bro. The live is perfectly fine. Specifically, how much you save money and you get out from the trucking business and doing TikTok. Specifically, how much? Psychology, bro. Reword that as well, please, bro. Please. I'm not sure. Are you asking me like how much money do I have saved? Are you asking me for like my financials? I'm confused on what's going on, dude. Narratin, what's going on, buddy? Now, I guess I'm trying to do a market update for you guys, but obviously this is not working out today because DAT is acting up, dude. So I can't do it, dude. I apologize. I might as well just turn this off. We can't do a market update, unfortunately.
Where's your update?
No, I picked up towards the end of the week. It started off really bad, though. It did. It really did. I mean, for me at least specifically.
No, hey, Bobby. Here's the thing, right? Mm-hmm. You gotta discourage people. Okay.
Okay.
Get them to sell their trucks. Less authorities means we make money.
Okay.
I'm telling you, bro, it's supply and demand, right? You agree? It's supply and demand.
So you're just like you got an evil plan, and you're just telling everybody
No,
that
it's not
news?
a plan. I'm just saying, like you should be discouraging people.
Why
like,
would I discourage
people?
people?
Should I? Should I buy more trucks, or should I get into the trucking industry?
I'm not here to
Say,
discourage
nah,
people,
man.
dude. I'm here to help people. They want the any way I could help, and I will help them. I'm not here to discourage them. Why would I want people to fail? Happy? That's
I
God
know
would
you
not
just
like
don't want
that.
people to fail. I'm
That's
talking
what.
about like the new guys, the ones who are not in the industry.
Why can't the new guys get in, dude? They want to make some money too.
All right, bro. It's supply and demand. It's just business.
Why are you
Stay out
so?
of the industry, and that's it.
Why are
Less
you so
competition
evil?
means more money for you.
Yeah.
It's not evil. It's just business, bro. The
Next
fuck?
next time
That's
you
how
come
that's how you're supposed to compete.
next time you come up with a plan,
Less
maybe just don't
competition.
announce it
Why,
to
why would you
anybody.
want more competition?
Because I'm not an evil person, bro. I mean, this is what it is. I want people to that's why do you think I started doing hot market updates? Is for people that don't have access to that, and are gonna go to make sure to help them out, dude. I don't want nobody to
How many
fail.
people like you think like actually like listen to your updates? I'm just wondering. Like, I'm not like coming at you or anything. Like, how many like?
A lot. Do you know how many
I,
DMs I get that like thank me like for like that they went to this market, got so much money and shit like that? Like a lot, dude. Nonstop, dude.
yeah.
Constant, like people requesting for like either like refrigerator ones or flatbed ones, nonstop, dude. Nonstop.
You gotta get like commission out of them, like a 3%. Try
Why?
to get 3% commission.
Not everything's about money, bro. Not everything's about
Why?
money. What do you mean why? Why? If I do something I like
You should get
that,
paid for that. What the
that
fuck?
helps people, well, eventually, I already started making some money off TikToks. I don't got to make money off helping people. I can make money off endorsements, sponsorships. People wanted me to shoot content for them, shit like that. You know what I mean? Why would I? The only thing I
So
think
it's just
the only thing I think I should be charging for is doing audits of people's MC numbers because it's starting to get annoying to do it for free. Because everybody keeps hitting me
MC
up.
numbers.
Yeah, they'll hit me up and they'll be like, "Hey, why don't brokers use me? Could you look on my MC?" Then I do like a full research of their MC numbers for them, like on highway, on my carrier packets, carrier 401. Then I look through all their shit, see what's wrong, and then give them advice and shit like that for it. That
Shit.
yeah, that's starting to get a little annoying because that's time consuming and that probably should be like a $99 consult fee, but I have
All right. That's too much, bro. What the fuck?
nine.
I called Steve Steve West. I called him just like a couple months ago. I called him. He ran my MC. He told me I just wanted to make sure there's no freight guards.
Yep.
And yeah, no, he ran it. I mean, he ran it for free. So like 99 is too much, bro. Like I say like 20,
20.
maybe
Dude,
like 15. Even that like pushing it, bro.
that's not what I do, dude. I actually look at the whole fucking thing and let them know what to do. Like they need to raise their trucks, lower their safety scores.
Oh, okay.
What's going
All right.
on where, how they could fix
That's
something,
consulting.
how could they get leaks. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for free, but if it keeps getting out of hand, bro, I'm gonna have to start making videos on this.
Just be a consultant and like offer these kind of services. Like packages, I guess you could say.
Oh shit, let's get Ray Chaser on here because he didn't get a chance to talk last time for some reason. Somebody fucking hold on, multi-guest. How do I invite him on here? Dude, oh my god, I'm like losing it. And I drank my coffee today too, bro. That's the messed up part. I drank my coffee and I did all that shit. I'm still kind of down. I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. What's up, Ray Chaser? You on here?
Yeah, man.
What's going on, dude? So what happened with Highway now? Sorry, because I get distracted easily, bro. I got like 5 screens open.
Yeah, I sent that message out last night. I got like word from somebody in the office that they were talking about doing it, but Highway sent out official communication today to their partners saying that they're. I'll read it real quick if that's okay.
Yeah, knock yourself out.
Yep, it says non-domicile and limited CDL tracking rules. We've seen an increase in direct threats in Q3 with the vast majority linked to carriers with non-domicile CDLs within their user base. As part of our ongoing efforts to equip our customers with tools to reduce the risk, Highway has created a rule that will fail a carrier if any associated user has a non-domicile or limited term CDL.
So they're gonna make you put your driver's CDLs into the highway system?
I think they're going to start collecting that data.
Bro, they're gonna get sued, bro. I see this coming already. They're gonna get sued.
They already collect the data.
No, I understand that, but I mean, at this time, bro, they're collecting way too much stuff, bro. Like
Everybody's just turning it over. That's your guys' problem. Everyone's just
well,
giving
dude,
it up.
they don't give you no choice. You don't.
I know.
You're gonna be out of their system, and then 50% of brokers are gone.
The amount of stuff we got to get from people now, man, to book a load through Highway is just ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I remember when like C.H. Robinson, like when they first did their like carrier onboarding with them, their whole shit went down, bro. They couldn't book loads with carriers for like 2 days, bro.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy, dude. That's absolutely crazy. And it's getting to the point, I'm telling you, bro, they're going to put so many people out of business, they're going to get a class action lawsuit against them, and they're going to sue the crap out of them. Because dude, if you're making them, you just like send your driver's like licenses to them, that's absolutely crazy. Then they want the ELD hookup so they see exactly where you're at all the time. I mean,
We see it. We see the ELDs. We confirm the VIN numbers. We make sure the driver's VIN numbers, ELDs, are pinged in the locations. If their ELD is pinging more than 400 miles from our pickups, we get notifications saying that the driver's not there. I mean, it's crazy what we can see
But
out there.
Rachel, sir, do you have access to highway?
Yes, I'm a broker.
I have a question, man. So, is there anything else that is here? Because the other day I had an issue, right? I spoke with Bobby. They're saying that my load utilization is over 200%.
Yeah.
I only book 2 loads a week. Like, I drive from Jersey to Dallas and back.
So here's what they're doing. What they're doing is however many units are insured on your insurance,
Okay.
they are calculating how many miles those tractors are supposed to be driving on a weekly basis. And if you're going over that legal threshold, 550 a day or whatever it is, they're going to say your peak utilization is too high, which to us is an indication of possible double brokering. Now, there's some ways. What if you're driving a team, right? It doesn't know how to measure that. There's some nuances in there, but you're getting a visual cue on that. And that data is getting fed in from Triumph Pay for the most part.
But are you able to see hours of service? Like, I need like logs.
No, can't see anything
Hypothetically,
like
not that I do, but like hypothetically, like let's say if this is like carriers are added in their logbooks, you can see that.
asking
No?
for a friend.
that. No, I can't see it.
Okay, now my last question to you. I'm not gonna I don't want to take over the live or anything, but like, so let's say hypothetically, right? If I ran a paper logbook, I still have my ELD connected just to like for the VIN verification, right? If I ran paper log for a couple weeks, would that be an issue? Or would that be it's still gonna ping like the location is you'll still see the location, but I'm just not gonna use the ELD.
But then you're still hooked up to
Right.
ELD then.
I don't know, like the tablet. I'm not gonna be logging my logs on the tablet. It'll just be through.
Yeah, but
I'll have the ELD plugged in. I'm just running the paper logbooks.
yeah, but
You know what I mean?
that's another scam though, bro. Because like, what about all the people that have that they have glider trucks, bro? Don't have, and then highway just cuts them off. Like you don't have ELD, you can't.
No, that's not true. What we do is we collect cab cards for those. We get pictures of their CLDs, their cab cards.
Yeah, you do as a broker though, or highway does this.
We as the broker, but we submit it to highway for approval on our end. But if you guys are running like a pre ELD engine, I don't know how to really explain that.
Yeah.
You guys can submit like your cab cards through to us and your CLDs, and we'll approve you.
And the okay. Wait, what else? CLDs?
We have to get the cab card,
CDL.
a picture of your CLD, and then also verify that VIN's on the insurance so we can get it approved.
Got it. Yeah, man, that's absolutely crazy, dude. Like they're definitely gonna like eventually just shut down everybody consolidates, and they're gonna be paying up the ass for loads, bro. Because right now, like everybody going to like California that consolidates and stuff like that, they're definitely like, you know what I mean, like taking these rates for cheap. And I think that's why like C.H. Robinson and a lot of these other brokers are staying away from them that actually like allow consolidation. So I don't know, man. We're gonna see what happens.
Well,
But
as much as we are verifying so much stuff in highway, these loads keep getting stolen and they keep limiting the carriers that we can use. It's actually having a negative effect on us because the amount of carriers that we can book is going down and down and down, right? So when we're competing against lower tier brokers who don't go through all this identity process, right? Our carrier pool is a lot more limited, right? So we're paying higher rates, which is good. It's going to the carriers that actually qualify, that deserve it, but it's limiting the amount of carriers that we can book. So it's got an effect on both ends. I know you guys don't see it that way, but it does.
no, I definitely see. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's gonna keep getting worse and worse, dude. It's gonna keep getting worse and worse. And a lot of this.
I mean, how worse can it?
How worse could it get? Dude, you know how many companies already probably went out of business because the highway wouldn't give them like access or just says no, they're no good because some kind of stupidity, bro. Because either like a linked address, a linked VIN number, you know what I mean? Like my boy just had this problem. He just called me today, dude. I don't want to say what broker, but a broker hit him up, like temporarily put him on DNU because he purchased a truck from a company that was his neighbor. And they, they had a bad reputation, and now they're asking like all these questions, like, why do you have this truck? Why was the address, why is the address almost the same? Like, because they're like literally neighbors, and they downsized. They sold some equipment to them, and now they're paying, they're a big ass company, like over 100 trucks, and now they're suffering from it because of a purchase of equipment. You know what I mean? So even if they get unblocked a day or two or three later, I mean, they needed to book a load, today or a few loads today with this broker. So like what, now they're suffering for some BS that highway should have no business even doing. So I don't know. What do you think about that, Ray Chaser?
I agree. I think it's got its ups and the downs. We get we've had a lot of loads stolen. You know what I mean? We've got to be as careful as we can. But I know it's having a negative effect on you guys. It has so I don't know what the solution is, but the fraud is running rampant, right? And I don't know how much you guys see it, but they're trying to attack us every single day. So we've got to be as sophisticated as we can, and this is the only tool we have that's actually doing it. And I know it's hurting you guys.
Yeah, and I mean, like, so what happens? Like, so you guys had a few loads like frauded already.
Oh, we've had at least a dozen this year.
So what happens when that? Like, who covers the cost for that?
We do. We've got to eat the money. And so if you want to keep the customer, you pay the money out of pocket. It's like, so that's the thing. Those cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars every year and just expenses that fly out the door. So you got to make the business decision. Are we going to profit enough off this customer to eat the $100,000 claim that we've got to pay out for the cargo?
So now you mean, so if you guys were capped at 3%, you mean you wouldn't be able to pay that stuff?
What do you mean by capped?
If brokerage is only capped at 3% profit, you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, that's the stuff people don't see behind the scenes. The 1.2 million this year on the bottom line that we've just paid out in fraudulent claims and fraud, right? But it's okay. That's just the cost of doing business, right, on our side of things. But
Now, you guys don't have like any like contingent cargo or anything that will pay that out, or?
we do, but there's nothing that it's a liability for us because we let the fraud happen, right? It's like when we can't chase anybody because when the fraud happens, we don't know who actually has the load. There's nobody to go out there and chase, right? To us, it's a better business decision just to pay it out.
And there's no insurance that would cover something like that you guys could get?
Most of it gets denied when you send it through to the insurance.
Yeah, and then
Are the police involved with the police report?
the police don't do shit, dude.
I've been on the phone with so many state highway troopers, FBI guys, the whole 9 yards. Now, FBI gets involved, but they just can't do anything. There's so much of it going on that half the time they don't even chase the trucks down. We've had situations where trucks we have tracking on them. The load has been stolen. We can see him. It's a produce load. You can see him pinging down at the LA produce market. You call the cops. They're like, he's there right now. He's offloading the produce. Please go down there and do something about it. Nobody shows up. The guy offloads the load of produce and it's gone.
Yeah, they don't do anything, bro. The cops just don't care. And then the feds usually won't get involved unless it's like Amazon or some like really high big company or high value, and that's when. And even with that, look at Amazon with California with the Armenians. I mean, they busted like $84 million they got before the feds finally concluded a year or two investigation and got somebody. You know what I mean? So like.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to stir the pot, but I have to hop off here.
No, you're good,
I did
bro.
want to share that because I know we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate it, bro.
But historically, we've had this happen too. But historically, if there was a verified police report filed with an occurrence number, with officers of the peace, with state troopers identified, and can be easily followed up with, insurance will usually pay $2 a pound or $80,000. Okay, that has been my experience. Now I don't know if I've got a good insurer that believes me, or we just haven't had it enough. But we have not had a verified claim denied.
Well, that's good. I mean, maybe your language in the contract or whatever is. I guess it really just depends, because I had some crazy shit happen when, we didn't have like one thing written and then bam, not covered. You know what I mean? Even though everything was lined up, we just didn't. The policies didn't have one thing that we needed for that. Just a different was a container instead of a dry van, and they're like, nope, not covering it. You know what I mean? So. I mean, it really just depends, man. It really just depends. That's why right now we got like a insurance specialist guy that looks over everything, just so we make sure that we're covered on every aspect. But I think where he's and you got. But how did you guys lose that load though? Did it got covered? Did it get lost differently, or what happened?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Me? Well, that's a very good question. We believe it was an internal theft.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt. But how do you prove it? You can't. So you just live and learn, isolate the individual, and fortunately, he made the choice to remove herself. I today believe she was involved with it. We could not prove it. We didn't accuse her. We just did what we carried on business as normal. We didn't watch her because then that would give her other grounds. The words you want to read in an insurance policy, Bobby, is will respond.
Okay, but no, my question is like it got stolen like what from a yard? Like somebody came and stole the
Yes,
truck?
sir.
Okay,
Yes,
that
sir.
that's
It,
why
it,
it's a little bit different through the freight brokerage if you sell it and you don't vet like because they're blaming you for not vetting the carrier and what he's talking about is like people that change the MCS 150s use like those those kind of carriers and they book a load and then they take it. Then insurance is not going to want to cover it because they're kind of blaming you that you didn't do your due diligence to make sure you're giving it to a good carrier. Now, if your shit got stolen from a yard, it's a complete different story. You know what I mean? Most cases, as long as if the truck is hooked up to the trailer, they're going to cover it. But then a lot of insurances put in their writing too. If the truck is detached from the trailer itself and it gets boosted, then they're not covering it.
we even had one, Bobby, where we got a load from a broker on the west coast of Canada. It was going into central Canada, and it was a load of diapers. The seal was broken. It was picked up in the Los Angeles area, transferred to our trailer. We went to deliver it, and our driver was arrested because it was called that said load was stolen from the carrier's yard who gave it to us.
Oh wow!
Oh, that was a 4 day
Wait, so
extravaganza,
somebody hired
Bobby.
you guys to go steal the trailer without you even knowing? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, it was on our trailer. That's the only thing that saved us, Bobby, is that it was on our trailer and we had all the back documents.
Okay.
Okay, we had the credit for them, we had the load sheet, we had their insurance, we had our insurance. The only thing that saved us is that we had a total paper history trail of this entire shit show. And I understand the carrier who reported all this got criminally charged. They lost their insurance. It was turned out to be a big mess. I did not want to get involved in it. Once it was clear we were held, once I was able to prove we were held harmless, I got the hell out of there because I don't have time to waste.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. It's the wild west right now, dude. Like everybody thought, like back in the day was the wild west. I mean, right now is the wild west in trucking. I mean, with
Oh yeah.
everything that's freaking going on, dude.
And then the broker, the original carrier out of Chicago, tried to come at us for emotional damage, ruining their reputation, etc., like that. And here we are as the innocent victim.
Did
Oh
they
yeah, they tried to get $500,000 from me.
did they take you
That
guys?
didn't go too far. What's that?
Did they actually take you to court or no?
Well, it stopped short of court.
Okay, well that's good at least.
Well, yeah, but it cost me $20,000 for a
Well,
lawyer out of Chicago.
20,000 is better than 150, 200 if you have to go all the way to trial. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, there was nothing there.
Well, yes, I'm
There,
saying good. Sometimes
yeah.
these judges like are weird, bro. You know what I mean? And they'll just like want to keep hearing
Well,
shit for no reason.
you touch on something, Bobby, that I have encountered. Is that when I've had to go to court, I've had to bring my textbooks with me to point out to the judges, that
Bro, we
no,
can't. That doesn't even
under
help
the
us.
bill.
Right now, we're in this
What?
crazy lawsuit, dude, and we're showing the judge all these like case laws and all this kind of shit, and he still just keeps going, bro. Like literally keeps going. Not only did he like not rule in our favor the first time, then we kind of got sucked back into it again, and now like going like at us, and like literally, dude, I've had like binder like in trial. The other people had like one or two little binders. We brought boxes, dude, of binders, evidence, like everything, dude, showed everything. And this judge just, dude, doesn't want to hear anything, doesn't even care, dude. And like, it's just like some stupid thing like that is just absolutely financially going to drain the crap out of you, man. And I just don't, like, I don't even know, like, I can't even believe this is going on at this point.
Well, yeah, and these judges, they don't understand transportation law, and they can't stand up and say they don't understand it. they don't recuse themselves. What they do is find a way to make a decision on the easiest aspect thereof.
You
Blue
know,
Ribbon's in here. Ask him. He would know.
I don't have to ask him. I know personally twice already.
This is a lawsuit that I spoke to you about.
You didn't speak to me about any lawsuit, dude.
I spoke to you about it. You remember?
I don't remember anything, bro. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, dude.
I don't want to know
But
about
it's the
it.
same lawsuit.
No, it's the third one that's going on right now, dude. Oh shit,
You
yeah.
got 3 lawsuits.
No, bro. Jesus,
God
you
damn.
talk too much sometimes, bro. You know what I mean? Child, you gotta
just
relax.
Said, you said it's the 3rd one.
The second one in my
Read
life,
his
yes.
face. Read his face. He doesn't want to talk about it.
I can't talk about it.
So what?
Oh fuck.
Oh, legally, yeah, legally you can, right?
This is what happens when you talk to children, Roger. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Listen, you call me whatever you want, but at least I'm not in any lawsuit. So.
Oh, don't. You're still young, bro. You got plenty of time. You'll be in a lawsuit, bro. If you keep on going
I'm
and
not
trying.
gonna be in a lawsuit. I don't make stupid decisions.
Oh,
So-
bro,
Okay.
dude.
I just want evidence that somebody's getting 10 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Who said that?
I want evidence that somebody's getting 10 miles to the gallon, so
I mean,
somebody can show me what I'm doing wrong.
I know Blue Ribbon's still on here. We could jump on and discuss this like civil people. As long, Roger, are you able to keep it cool or?
No,
or
that's my only question. That's
Yeah.
my only question. My only question is how, how do they get 10 miles to the gallon?
what a happy Friday, dude! Already. Here we go with the TikTok
No,
video.
it's simple. I'll back down.
You drive
if
a
you
Volvo.
want.
What's
That's
up?
my only question. How do they get
drive a
10 miles
Volvo.
to the gallon?
I have no idea because I don't get that much, so I can't explain
There
it.
you
then.
go. You proved my point.
Who's okay? Sorry, I'm not even looking at. I get 8.5 in the gallon pickled peanuts. That's really good. I don't know.
It is very good.
I'm not a fuel expert, dude. So I don't look over those numbers. So I'm not a expert to be talking about that. John, so much TikTok beef lately. Yup. Hey, Greg, what's up, buddy? Polish correspondent from Detroit, dude. Blue Ribbon said propaganda on TV makes people believe the cops are much more capable than actually. 100% true statement, dude. Like the cops don't, man. They don't care, dude. I mean, like certain things that but lately they probably don't give a shit about anything, dude. Imagine like these, like the bigger, like Chicago, Los Angeles, like Northwest, anywhere over there with the damn liberals running around crazy. Those cops got their hands tied. They can't. New York. I mean, they're not doing anything in these cities, dude. You're literally like a free for all at this point, dude. It's absolutely crazy. Blue Frog, and how is the load stolen? Well, their load could be stolen lots of ways, bro. They could come to your yard, pick it up, steal it. They could book it under a fake company. You know what I mean? They could hijack your truck. I mean, they could hijack your actual company and book it under. I mean, there's so many different ways, dude, right now that it's absolutely crazy, bro. Even when your IP ping's close to double brokering carrier and you just passing by, it's crazy. Trucking 101. Yeah, dude, this IP shit with highway is absolutely nuts, bro. Like what they're doing, it's shouldn't be going on, and they need to be stopped, dude, because they're ruining a lot of good companies, man. Like, dude, my buddy got like a legit company, big company, over 100, like 20 trucks, and nonstop issues, bro. Has to hire lawyers nonstop to hit up highway and talk to them, and like it's just absolutely crazy, bro. Like it's like that's another like Roger
So
brought up
who's
a
gonna be the
point.
first one to start the lawsuit?
I don't know, dude.
Somebody has to take the first step.
I don't know, my dude. I got my lawyer into
Tyler Boyd.
into trucking like law now, dude, and it's all he's doing, bro. Like now he's like it's a big part of his business now. I guess he said he has so much business he doesn't know what to do with it. He has to hire more people. I'm actually gonna be doing a podcast with him early next week, so I'm gonna do it on the live. He's a really nice guy too, dude. But he's going crazy with this trucking stuff. Now he's suing companies for categorization of employees for the truck drivers and shit. So interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff.
Bobby, have you heard from Audrey? Is she going to come up for a live, do you think?
I have no idea. I didn't even message her. I got to do my lawyer first, and then after that, I'll be free because that's my next scheduled podcast. And that's gonna be early next week. So after him, I could talk to her and
Yeah, she's cool. There's another girl that'd be cool to get on. A lawyer called Cassandra Gaines. Okay.
who's that? Their lawyer?
Cassandra Gaines.
I'm saying is that the AFART's lawyer?
Oh, I don't know hey, they've been quiet. What's going on with them?
We're probably just not paying
He made a
attention.
video. He responded.
To who? To what?
He responded to Blue Ribbon.
Oh yeah, we see
So
this.
you know the video that the guy made?
Old news, bro. We talked about that yesterday, bro. Bring up some current
No,
events.
his response video.
Oh, another responsibility. Wait, so so a
He
fart.
just posted this shit. Like, what are you talking
So
about?
a fart made
Like
a
15 hours
video.
ago.
But then I seen Blue Ribbon tagged me in a video. I seen that. That was a pretty funny video. So they made a response video to that video.
No, it was the one about like Audrey, right? He made a response to that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But then Blue Ribbon made another. So you're talking about yesterday's video. I don't know. I can't go play this
Yeah,
shit.
listen, I watched the video. Yeah, Bobby, I watched the video this morning, and it said 15 hours ago from McCown.
So yeah, so that was yesterday's video, and
That was
then
yesterday's video.
yeah, and then Blue Ribbon
right.
just published one with somebody else on there, just completely bashing them. So I guess we're waiting for the diss track back now, right? Is that what we're waiting for? We're waiting for the clap back, but absolutely crazy at this point, bro. I don't even know why we're having this TikTok. I mean, because I know why, because they're retarded, but besides that,
It gets
like,
views.
not really. Mine got like 400 views, bro. My video I made of him, and I actually took my time to edit it myself. I was so disappointed, bro.
I just hope nobody loses money on them, Bobby, because at some point in time, at some level, somebody's going to have to asking for money, and that's the part that concerns me.
How do we do something to scam some money, dude? What do we do, dude? Look, could we start like a Bart or something, dude? And we're just like,
You just start stealing from the scammers. You know the people who steal loads?
no, I'm talking about on
steal from
here.
them.
I'm talking about on here, bro. Like,
That's it.
we should start an organization to rival them, and we'll just do everything the right way, dude. And it actually makes sense, dude. Imagine that, dude. I think that'll be pretty.
Something makes sense on TikTok. Hard to believe.
I mean, we
I
could.
just want to know how. I just want to know how I can get 10 miles to the gallon.
What-
That's what I want.
Damn, look at Roger still going in with those low blows, dude. Just trying for new beef.
No, it's not. It's concerning me, man. I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong.
What are we stealing from
You drive
afart.org?
it.
What was the raise the surety bond, right? That, what else we taking, bro? Roger, wasn't there like another thing that we liked?
Oh, I agree with that surety bond.
Yeah, but what was the other thing?
Okay, there was the surety bond. We didn't like the owner operator thing. Oh shit! I can't remember now.
Yeah,
Bobby, I'm sorry.
Those two things that we agreed upon. I forgot. One was the surety bond for sure, and I forgot what the second. I'm gonna have to go back and read afart.org again, dude, and figure it out, dude. Jen, I like the $5 per mile. Any way to work it in? We can't, bro. Because unfortunately, because we know it's gonna ruin trucking, so we can't work that in. Unfortunately, does everything like that except the percentage less than $1. Wait, what? Do everything like that except the percentage less than $1 less? No idea what you're talking about, wife. No idea. FOPT 10.4. What the fuck is that? Is that somebody's username? Damn, I can't remember. Now it's bothering me, bro. I want to remember what the hell it was, man. Something, dude. Something. It was something to do with the brokers too, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But whatever, man. We'll figure it out.
Transparency?
No, definitely wasn't transparency, bro. That definitely was not it. Definitely not it. But look, we could start like an organization, dude, right? We could like crowdfund money, and then we could just like pay ourselves a big salary, and then that's it, dude. We're good, right? We won't have to like work in trucking no more, dude. The Federation of Professional Truckers. There you go, dude. That's a good name, dude. FPT. We could go with that, dude. Let's do it, dude. There you go, OG. Now we got a name. Now we just gotta like make some rules, dude. You know, we gotta make some rules. We gotta like just figure stuff up that we're for, that people are gonna like. We're just gonna start making videos. No, I can't. I came up with the plan. You can't be the CEO, bro. I have to be the CEO. Unfortunately, dude. Let's make Bobby richer. Yeah, please, dude. I'm tired of driving Nissan Altimas, dude, and crying about finances every day, dude. I could definitely use being rich. Would be nice. We already got an organization. There you go. What's up, man? You on? Wait, no, still. What's up, buddy? You on here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. So, okay, what is it? The Federation of Professional Truckers?
We already started it.
Oh, you already started? No, I need a new one, dude.
Well, we're already doing it the right way, so we are totally against AFTRA
That's good.
and his 513 bullshit. So,
Hey, would you happen to have a
Yes.
noise canceling headset by any chance?
This is a noise canceling headset.
Oh boy, I think you should try Blue Tiger, bro, because that one's not working too good. All right, go ahead. What do you got?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, we're already there, so it's already started.
So, what are your guys' talking points or like shit that you're doing different than a fart?
Well, if you want to be profitable inside of the industry, and you're a trucker or you're a carrier, then it's a matter of that you just need to know your operating costs and don't accept cheap freight. And cheap freight is basically defined as anything that is below your operating costs. So if you're able to operate at $2.13 a mile, and that's your true operating cost that actually pays for all of your business and personal expenses, then if you take a load at $2.35 a mile, that's not cheap freight, you're profitable. If you take a load that's under that, you're hauling cheap freight, you're going to go out of business.
Well, what if you need to get out of a bad market, for example? Is that okay to take a cheap load
Well,
done?
that's where I was literally getting ready to do that. Anybody that's in this industry, because I've been around since 1997, knows that this industry works off of the law of averages. So if you can go through and you can do a quarter, or we'll say you're running off of 13 periods, whether you're or 12-month intervals or whatever the case is, as long as you are being profitable at the end of the day, it's either that or if you want to get the rate up, all this spot market bullshit, but the $5 mile is already there for the contract.
Hey, before you continue, I just want to let you
The
know.
spot market.
Hey, sir, before you continue, I just want to let you know you're making too much sense here right now. About your averages, make sure your average is higher than your operating costs, and it's okay to take a cheap load to get out of a bad market so you can continue making more money. You are making way too much sense here, bro. I don't think these AFART people are going to agree with this.
He already kicked me out of his group.
Because like that's one thing people don't understand. They're like, dude,
Hold on, Bobby, hold on. After I gave
Got it,
them
boss.
my personally designed spreadsheet so that they could all be fucking profitable, so they could all know what their operating costs are, including their, personal businesses, personal expenses, all that. And then, because I said, quit hauling cheap freight. If it doesn't make the bills pay, then don't haul it. If you want to get the spot market rates up, you have to raise the rejection rate. If anybody's been in this industry longer than 5 minutes, you should know that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So, but yeah, I just, it's one of those things. I was on here the other night trying to listen to the after ad because when I was over there as an admin, the last section of the after ad talking about the training side and making training better and things of that nature is what I added to him. But, he didn't want to wait and get all of it out. He likes to run everything through ChatGPT and such. Yeah. And he cannot do a single debate on his own. When I was over there, I was constantly getting the phone calls, hey, come debate this person, hey, come debate this person, hey, come debate this person. So, yes, he's got a good heart. He just has absolutely no clue because he's only been in the industry for 2 years. And that's basically what it amounts to.
Yeah, I like him too a little bit, bro. I think he's a nice guy, but I think he really needs to drop this crate. I think it's his little boyfriends that are like making him, which he doesn't take me as a follower. That's another he doesn't take me like as a person to be a follower, but just to me he kind of like seems like he's their like little puppy and he just says whatever they say and does. And another thing that really makes me angry, like you said, you can't have a talk with him or debate. Because like even if you like corner him and he knows he's wrong, he still won't admit it. You know what I mean? That's why we went over the whole thing yesterday or whatever, 2 days, whatever it was this week. You know what I mean? Like we went over it piece by piece and like literally like pointing stuff out to him that literally makes no sense, and he still will not admit it. He'll still fight and try to argue the fact that it does make sense when it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what he doesn't understand is, and this is what I tried to explain to him, you're never going to get $1 a mile right now with S893 being out there because we have no idea what Congress is going to say, right? You don't really know. I mean, is Congress going to bring in the overtime exemption? In my opinion, most likely not. Unless there's somebody in there that's going to make a crap ton of money profit, right? Because we all know government only does shit that makes them money. Nothing that's going to make us money, right? So there's no way, and I even said this on our podcast here a few weeks ago, there's no way if you bring in $1 a mile and then bring in S893, that literally puts every driver at $1.50 a mile. You're going to bankrupt every fucking carrier in America.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. So you have to wait for S893 to be solved inside of Congress before you can even think about placing any kind of a minimum. But then the other thing is this. Once you give government control of the minimum in commerce, now you're giving them control of the maximum. So how does that work? What do we do with that? What happens when Congress comes back and says, okay, $5 minimum, $5.50 maximum? Are you going to get these guys to run these huge oversized loads for $10 to $12 a mile to run them for $5.50? Hell no.
So what this SS93? I'm trying to look it up because I'm not even familiar with this. I'm not going to sit here and lie like I know anything about this shit.
The Senate. Okay, so it's Senate Bill 893.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
It's the bill they have in Congress right now to remove the overtime exemption for the trucking industry. Okay. What that does is that places after 40 hours, anyone inside transportation receives overtime.
Yeah, but I mean, that's another thing. Like, I don't think that's like trucking's kind of like you can't. It'd be kind of super hard to do that. Like super hard.
Well, so this is the thing. What it is it would put anybody, regardless of percentage pay, mileage pay, or hourly pay, they all go to time and a half. No different than you are if you're, working a normal 9 to 5 factory job.
Yeah, but all that's gonna do is just make them pay you less hourly.
I didn't say it's good.
No. I'm saying like.
Well, I didn't say it was good. Yeah, they're going to drop hourly rates, or they're going to drop separate mile rates, or the other thing we talked about on the podcast, they're literally going to shut you down after 40 hours. Most of these big carriers have full control of their trucks. They will put you at a truck stop and shut that truck off.
Oh, the big carriers 100% for sure. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah. Another thing is like, even if you're like a local driver, right? Like, and you're getting paid like say 26, 27, 28 bucks an hour, all they're gonna do is just pay you less money per hour and then average it out with the overtime, so they're still making the same shit. So like, there's so many like loopholes and things you could do that people like think like like you're basically just gonna cause a headache for a little bit, and people are gonna find a way to work around it anyway. So like it doesn't make no damn sense.
Well, the thing of it is this. All I'm saying is that you're gonna have to wait for the verdict to be given on S893 before you even want to try to work about this $1 a mile for company drivers. Because right now, the government they're not going to do that because they haven't even solved the overtime problem yet. The other thing of it is this. The commerce clause in the Constitution will never allow and never withstand any lawsuit for his 513. Because if you go back and look at the Federalist Papers, basically number 11 and number 42, it will literally show that they cannot govern the commerce as such. It'll never pass. If it does pass, it'll be thrown into lawsuits in court and appeals court from now until the rapture happens. So it's pointless.
Yeah, that's
pointless.
That's what the lady was saying about Blue Ribbon. You on here?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? AOG, I'm going to have to mute you for a second because your background, okay? When you're ready to talk, just unmute yourself, okay? I'll invite you to unmute, but when you're ready to talk, just unmute and then mute yourself again. So
I'm going to do it right now, bro.
Okay, thank you, sir. Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Hey, so I found it funny, he's talking about reading the Federalist Papers, and it makes me think of that King of the Hill meme where he's standing in front of that glass and said, well, if these kids could read, they'd really, really upset.
About the federal what? Sorry, I missed the first part.
When he was talking about reading the Federalist Papers.
Oh, okay.
If you read the Federalist Papers, but first they got to be able to read, and I don't think most of them can. Here, listen, I want to run something by you.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine today, and we've noticed this phenomenon over the last 5 years. In my position where I'm at, I have to hire drivers that have a minimum of 1 year verifiable over-the-road experience.
Because of insurance requirements?
So, yeah, okay. Right. So I can't. I'd love to get them from brand new. That way I don't have to unprogram them, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We've noticed over the last 5 years that drivers come to us, and when we say, okay, well, hey, here's a 600-mile run. It pays $1,800. Pick up today and deliver tomorrow. They look at me like I've got three heads because they're like, what do you mean 600 a day, 600 miles? Pick up today, deliver tomorrow. I'm like, dude, since I started in 97, 4,000 mile week was standard. Me working as a truck driver 49, 50 weeks a year was standard. And here's what we're wondering. Here's the question. When all of these carriers had to raise their driver pay rates during the pandemic because everything went crazy, and then they can't take that big per mile that they're promising these drivers, are they just working the drivers that much less? Because the number of drivers that I have come to me that are like, man, I've never run more than 350 miles a day. And I'm just wondering if that is what part of the shift is. Because if you've only ever been a company driver, you come into being an owner operator and you think you're going to only run 300 or 400 miles a day and make a living, you're in for a rude awakening, because you're going to run 3,000, if not 3,500 every week. And you're going to run 90 mile an hour with your hair on fire to try to gather up all the revenue that it takes to run a truck. Yeah. And I'm just wondering if that has or it's just lazy generation. I don't know. They just don't want to work.
I think we're on two different like worlds, like when it comes to like drivers and stuff like that, because like the world I come from, like you don't see these drivers much. And if you do, you don't take them. You know what I mean? Everybody wants, 700, 800 miles, you know what I mean? If they could do it, 650, whatever the fuck they could do. So I think like just maybe, I don't know, maybe because you're an oversized, but like especially like Chicago or Europeans trucking, like you don't see that much. And if you do see them, the only way you ever hire those drivers if you're like in desperate need just to fill a truck, just to keep it moving to make some money. Otherwise, you won't even hire these people. I think there's a big difference between drivers that like sign up with like say like European companies and like other companies or like big carriers. I just think the driver pool is completely different in these two sectors, in my opinion. I think that's why maybe you are seeing that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, on this side,
they don't understand the matrix and the elements of revenue per mile.
Oh, you're underwater, Roger. You're underwater.
Okay, these newer guys, they don't understand the optics of revenue per mile and what needs the asset to be viable. And nobody can operate in a long haul environment with over probably 700 miles, putting 300 miles on a day and remain profitable. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I mean, for the driver, it's not even worth it at that point. Like, if you want to drive 350, 400 miles a day, like you should not be a driver. I'm sorry, but I mean, unless you got some kind of like crazy good like contract, like locally or something like that, where you're making good money and you got a good contract that's like short miles. But like even then, like why would you want to jump in a truck and you're getting paid per mile, right? So like why you don't want to, like that's like somebody offering you $100 bills and you're like, no, I'm good, just give me like 4 of them or something, like it just doesn't make no sense to me. I don't get it.
No, it doesn't make, and when you try to explain it to them and talk to them as reasonable, rational people, I don't know what's so funny, but they just don't understand it. And when you show them the spreadsheet of to where they have to be, where they need to be, and where they are, they just don't accept it.
Well, Chris, are you paying per mile or no? Yeah, you're paying per mile, right?
No, we're percentage.
Okay, so if you're percentage, that changes the game though, because if you're paying percentage, it doesn't matter what the miles are. It matters what the gross is and how much the driver is going to make, because you might make more money off shorter miles with the percentage than you would obviously per mile. So in your case, yeah, I mean, I see that working.
Well, yeah, but so, I mean, we're advertising an opportunity to come and drive our truck while we teach you business. There are people that I would desperately love to have, like myself in 2010 or 2011, when I recognized that there was certainly an opportunity in owning and operating a truck. But I probably wouldn't have taken the deal because I would have figured, well, man, I can work hard enough. I can figure it out. So there's a lot of people that would bypass an opportunity like we have because they're go-getters, they're hard workers, they're smart people. They think, man, I'll just go work through it and I'll figure it out. And then they go belly up for whatever reason because it's hard. It's not like owning and operating a truck is easy. It's not easy. But you got so many of these people that are telling them how easy it is, and it's not. That's absolute horseshit. It's not easy.
Maybe try changing your message a little bit. Maybe I don't know. Maybe try a different game.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I try to talk to me, I guess, you know.
Yeah, plus you got to.
Well,
He's not
we've
the
been
only one
getting
that's doing this, Bobby. Like others are doing it, and others are successful at it as well.
we've been getting a lot more traction lately with our BCO Landstar BCO mentoring program because we can show the numbers, and then these guys will realize how broke they are. Matter of fact, I had a guy today that's been a Landstar BCO for 2 years, and I told him to sell his truck. Not because he's a bad guy, but he's got his mama living with him, and he's got 6 kids, and his wife's got cancer. And I'm like, brother, this is not the time for you to be trying to drive a truck. You need a good local job where you can get a steady income, because dudes make like $75,000 gross revenue this year. I'm like, dude, that's a third of what you should have made at this point.
As an
I'm
owner
like,
up,
you can't.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't be a part-time owner operator and then also generate enough money to cover the risk of driving
Wait,
an 07
you said
classic
gross
Freightliner.
revenue or net revenue?
Gross.
Oh my goodness.
Gross.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, brother, I mean, his truck's paid for. I'm like, listen, he was like 37, 36 years old. I'm like, brother, park the truck for a year, get you a local job, get some consistent money in, take care of your wife, take care of your mama, and then go be an owner operator. But this, you're asking for bankruptcy and despair at this point. You know, there's I can't give you an accounting spreadsheet that's going to fix that.
Yeah. I mean, I said nut. I'm like, I mean, it's still not good, but you said gross.
That's
Holy
common
shit.
sense. How he got into that situation is unfortunate. Nobody's to judge anyone, but the issue is, how is he going to get out of it at reasonable risk and reasonable loss? And the answer is, he's in a very, very unfortunate situation.
At least his truck's paid off.
Yeah. And I hope, he leverages that somehow, some way, to look after his family, because that's the most important, and he can get another asset at some point in time.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do, man? Fuck it. What are you gonna? I mean, at this point, like, you should, you have to, like Chris said, you got to understand what's going on around you and kind of like, pivot and try to, adapt to your situation. At that point, like you said, you might as well just sell the truck, get a local job, or if you don't need the money to sell the truck, just put the truck aside, take the, because I mean, depending, you're paying what, depending on how cheap of insurance you get, you're paying 12 to like 16, 17, 18 grand a year, just for insurance.
That's what I told him. His biggest risk in that scenario, it's really hard to find an insurance policy if the truck's not leased to a carrier. I'm sure they're out there, but he is going to have an uninsured asset sitting there.
Yeah, but you can get storage insurance on it, and it's still going to be protected.
It's not going to cover the loss of his wife, Bobby.
Well, yeah, but we're not talking. What are we talking about covering the loss of his wife? I mean, we're trying to get him to be home with his wife so you could be with her too.
Yeah,
right?
but that's what I'm trying to do, if I may, is to cover all bases with one swing of a bat.
Just sell the shit. Sell the truck.
Well, that to me is the cleverest thing and the least risk thing, he should be looking to do.
Well, it's an 07 Classic XL Freightliner. So there's 3 or 4 people lining up that'll give him $30,000 or $35,000 for that truck, even if it's not worth it. Just because they.
Does it get pretty low to the gallon?
Well, probably not. But I also told him, I said, listen, brother, we've talked here for a few minutes, but I mean, you just know that I know that that this truck is probably in terrible shape. And he just kind of bowed his head a little bit, and he was like, yeah, it's in awful shape. And I'm like, you can't take, it would be one thing if you could go out and run maximum revenue and just go follow the freight where it goes and go make a pile of money and then offset the risk of maybe having to work on this truck. But you and I both know this truck is one bolt from completely flying apart. And then, you got to get back to take your mom to the hospital. I'm like, dude, it's way too much risk to try to do that while you're trying to do this other stuff.
Yeah, my wife made a good point, but you just kind of killed it because she said this, hey, why don't you lease it onto a company, get a driver? But you're saying if it's one bolt away from fucking falling apart. So that's probably
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. What's up, Rocky? You on here, dude?
Yeah, I'm on. I've been listening there for a little bit back when Roger was talking about the 10 mile a gallon trucks. and
So,
stuff.
so we're getting into this. Okay, so what's the whole beef? Blue Ribbon, you said you get 10 miles per gallon to the truck, and then Roger got butthurt, and now he wants to know how you get 10 miles per gallon.
Well, I know a guy. We know a guy named Steve Cron that's got a 2001 International that he's done a bunch of crazy aerodynamic work to, and that truck has a 10 mile per gallon average over 1 million miles.
Over
Now,
1 million miles.
Okay.
now you got to understand that Steve's a little odd because he'll check the wind direction before he starts driving. So he's a very, very special case. But the bottom of his trailer looks like a race car. He remolded the fenders. I think he put Mac Vision headlights on it. It's got an air dam. The thing looks like a NASCAR race car. But it does have a 10 mile per gallon average over 1 million miles.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh Power, it's a 12.7 Detroit, and then Pittsburgh Power somehow retrofit a VGT turbo off of a 12.7 on it, off of a 14 liter, and programmed it. I mean, it's a magnificent piece of equipment.
Okay, so Roger, does that make you feel better, or do you have any rebuttals towards this?
I'll feel better when I see a spreadsheet and a picture of the asset.
Dude,
Because I want to know
but
where I'm going.
why would they go online just lying about 10 miles per gallon?
Because if I could increase my fuel costs or decrease them by 30%, I tell you, man, I would be a hero.
If
it's
you
so
go to
easy, why doesn't everybody else do it?
Because they're not going to make their truck aerodynamic and spend all that money into it.
First of all, nobody said it was easy. But if you go to letstruck.com and their fuel gauges and you put in backdraft binder, I think it's BINDR, backdraft binder, you'll see, you can click on that truck and see that it has a 10 mile per gallon average over 1 million miles because he's tracked every fill up in that truck over 1 million miles on that platform.
Does it
And
have
also,
an on it?
Roger, you can also go to the Facebook page and look up Volvo Masters Group. Joel Morrow is in there. He created that group. He has a bunch of Volvo data for years where they have been getting over 10 mile per gallon with those. Steve Crone with the 2001 that Chris is currently talking about with that 2001 International just bought a 2026 International, and he's got 29,000 miles on it right now. And he's a little upset because from day one to 29,000 and some miles on it as of yesterday, he's only averaged 11.13, and he's trying to get 13.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. This is all Chinese to me because I am not a MPG or a mechanic or any kind of specialist. But I mean, I believe you guys. I don't think you guys are gonna be on here fucking why would you lie for somebody else? Obviously, some people are nuts, man.
Let me give you some history though. Okay, how a lot of this started was back in the Rocky, the late 2000s when they started messing with the micro blues and the gear sets and all that stuff. When the fuel started climbing, there was a bunch of these owner operators that started experimenting with, changing to 264 rear ends and running a 13 and 11th in direct drive. And, Schneider started building trucks with 264 rears and direct drive 10 speeds. And these guys were going crazy, testing all these different products, fleet air filters, OPS, synthetic oils to try to get. And what they hit on was a lot of these things that would take a 99 to 2003 model truck and have it get just incredible fuel mileage, low rolling resistance tires. So the history of it, you have to understand, started 16, 17 years ago out of just a desperate movement to try to figure out what the hell are we going to do that now that fuel has gone crazy. And so It was a lot of hillbilly engineering and a lot of just throwing stuff at the
A lot
wall
of
and
it.
see what stick,
No, I got a question
But
for
these
you.
guys did it all themselves.
I got a question for you about what you always talk about, like rear ends, right? And then like they
Yep.
get
Yeah.
you better MPG. Like, could you? Because like I said, I'm not a mechanic whatsoever, dude. Like, but like, so how does putting a different rear end help you out with getting better mile per gallon?
It allows you to run the transmission in direct drive. So you've heard the term overdrive, right?
Okay.
So direct drive is where the input shaft of the transmission and the output shaft of the transmission are turning the same speed. So you're not having to route power through an overdrive, which causes a loss of efficiency and a loss of power.
So when it goes into overdrive,
Um,
how does that affect the way the shafts are moving? Sorry, I'm just curious.
because you're having to transfer the power through that overdrive gear, through that fifth gear
Okay,
in the box. Whereas if you've got it in direct, it's just 1-to-1. The
got it.
input shaft and the output shaft are sent. So
Yeah.
in the late '90s, a lot of trucks were built with Super 10s and 390 gears, really low gear with a really tall overdrive because people wanted power. Then in the early 2000s, we started moving to like an overdrive 10 speed with a 358. Then that coincided with the fuel going crazy. So they started figuring out that if they could run a 10 speed in ninth gear, which is 1-to-1, with a 264, the RPMs were the same at 60 miles an hour or 65 miles an hour as they were in overdrive with a lower gear. So, and all of these new trucks, all these new transmissions, the DT12 and all, they're all direct. So direct drive with a higher ratio is what gets you that efficiency. And now they're doing downsped engines and a bunch of stuff I don't understand.
Oh, and then
But some of these Volvos are getting crazy fuel mileage.
I got some
Yeah.
comments here. Sorry, really quick. Some comments about a diesel MPG booster increase and then magnet on the fuel lines or some shit like that. What is that all about?
Nah, that's nothing.
Listen, there was so much witchcraft that was tried back in those days. I was working on a truck last year and I saw this weird fitting on the fuel island, and it was a Turbo 3000D, which used to be advertised all over satellite radio. And I was shocked to find one on a truck because it's probably been on there 15 years. But that was
Yeah.
supposed to be one of those snake oil, put this thing on your fuel line and it'll do this, that, and the other. But Kevin Rutherford put together a pretty impressive kind of team of independent owner operators that would go and test all these different products. At one point, they were putting hot thermostats in them and running waterless coolant, and some of it worked, some of it didn't, some of it had, but it was all about little things. If you put low rolling resistance tires and synthetic oil and an OPS and a fleet air filter and a Pittsburgh power muffler, and you did all of these things, all of them put together, you could see a 1.5 or 2 mile per gallon increase. And then, of course, the driver's right foot, because the driver's not going to drive it like an animal.
Got it. And then you buy mostly Freightliners too, right? From what I've seen in your videos.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
The problem I have with that is 98% of the drivers then, and 98% of the fleet owners are doing this wrong. That's in essence what it appears you're saying, sir.
Okay, now hang on, Roger, before y'all talk. Let's compare a fleet that has 500 trucks, that has 500 people that can barely fucking walk driving them. Okay, versus an owner operator that is trying to put as much cash in the bank as he can every year. Every mile per gallon right now, with fuel prices like they are, is about $10,000 a year you get to keep instead of giving it to BP.
And that's my exact point. That's
Fleets,
exactly my point.
the fleets would have to have 10,000 people training the 500 drivers how to drive the truck for fuel economy. The
Well,
drivers,
there's one other side of that. Even with me being a small fleet of less than 10 trucks, if I set the truck up to get 7.5, okay, and I get a dud driver that only gets 6.5, had I not set it up to get 7.5, I'd be getting 5.
five.
Right.
Correct.
So And I have literally seen, I take one drive. So last year, I had two trucks pulling flatbeds. One was an '07 Century, the other was an 18 Cascadia with an automatic and a DD15. And those two trucks fought each other every week for top fuel mileage, 8 miles a gallon. I changed the driver in the '07, and the fuel mileage went to 6. The tires were the same, the engine was the same, all of the everything the same. I changed the driver, and the fuel mileage dropped 2 miles per gallon. So, the driver is a huge part of that.
Huge
But
part of it.
if I didn't set the thing up with the right tires and the right gears and all that stuff, hell, it'd probably be getting 4.
The driver, the way I calculate it, is about 65% of everything. The asset is probably another 30 to 40, and then you've got the trailer, how it's equipped, and any accessories that are on that. If it's got a wedge on it, if it's a van, if it's got a van, if it's got skirts, if it's got a damper underneath, etc. like that. So again, all I'm saying is that 98% of us are doing things wrong because we got owner operators that have been with us for 20 years. They come back, they go and they come. And that's the industry. They're not getting 10 miles to the gallon. And these guys are probably one of the best you could ever meet. And that's the problem I have. Is that where is the 98% of the people that are in this industry going wrong? And I guarantee you, there is such a market for this. If it works, you guys wouldn't need to have assets. You could educate us.
Are we starting a new business? Let's do
There
this,
you
dude.
go.
I'm
And
down. Down for anything that makes money.
You could get Vince and McCowan and the other guy to do it, and Fuel Truckers United or something. And there's more of a business there than there is operating rolling stock.
Yeah, but
The problem is these guys, they don't think it's possible. So most of them don't try. But then they get out on the road and they still want to run 80 miles an hour and stop 13 times a day. Where somebody like Joe Morrow's drivers or any of the Alpha team, those guys get in, they close the door, they stop every, when they got to do their break, and then they get back in and they go, they trip plan, they use the restroom and go. They don't stop 100 times a day. And every time you stop and every time you start, there goes a couple gallons of fuel, right? But another thing with the fleets, Roger, that they can't really control is what their guys are doing, how much they're idling. These guys are turning into a parking lot and ripping the air dam off the front of the truck. If the trailer is outfitted with aerodynamic stuff to improve the fuel economy, they're ripping that stuff off in places because they don't care. They're not paying for it. Where there's a lot of the owner operators, and if you go check out that page, you'll see the data they post, every load, every fuel up, their weights, where they're at in the country. They went from New York to LA and they got 13.2 and they got, whatever, gallons per odometer mile. And they keep all these records, and it is possible.
So, but how much do they spend on to make a truck? I mean, that's probably gonna be like insane money to do all that shit to a truck, no?
No, like the new truck that Steve Crone bought. I just aligned this truck here a couple weeks ago, well, no, it's been about 2 months ago. But he's got 29,000 on it now, and he's out of the box with a factory, nothing added to it yet, international LT, and he's over 11 mile per gallon for 29,000 some miles.
Well, you lost me at internet. You lost me at international.
So, but he's one of them. He likes them. They are a good riding truck if you haven't ridden in one. Them damn LTs and Pro Stars, they're a damn nice riding truck.
I just had so many bad experiences with internationals where I would never even attempt to even try again.
So where we got common ground is your position is A, it's doable. So B, my position is there's so much money involved in this, or potential money. Why wouldn't you all put it out into the public domain, turn it into a business, and make more money saving people fuel than you would ever hauling freight.
Well, one, it's already out there. These guys are on these groups already showing people what to do and what to do for free. They get on there and they talk about it every day. Every Thursday on Kevin Rutherford's show is Joel Morrow and Henry Albert and a couple of these other guys from Team Run Smart from Freightliner that are out here in the real world running these trucks, and they talk about this stuff every week. And all these shows are on there. Anybody can go back. If you missed it, you can go back and listen to them. But that they talk about it for 2 or 3 hours every week of what to do for no charge, just trying to educate people.
I've tried to get Blue Ribbon to talk about this for at least 6 weeks now. Okay. And I'm not
What?
saying he's right. I'm not saying he's wrong. And I'm privileged to be on here. I have no position on this until I see fact. And once I see fact, if I'm wrong, I'm going to say, hey, I'm wrong. Like,
What are you talking about? You've been trying to get me to talk about what for 6 weeks?
I've tried to come on your lives. I've asked to be brought up. Okay. I've told you exactly what I want
Wait,
to
hang on. Wait a minute. So are you the guy, because I'm not familiar with who you are. Are you the guy that when I was having a conversation with Francisco and you kept saying, bring me on, bring me on, bring me on, and then threw a hissy fit and said, oh, I must not be smart enough to be on your show, and I told you to fuck off? Are you that guy?
Whoa. That's not me. That is not me.
Okay.
That is not me.
There was one the other night that just did exactly what Chris said.
He's lying. Ryder's lying. That was him. That was it.
All right.
That was not me. That was not me.
All right. There you go. We talked about it.
But Roger, it is.
So at the end of the day, where we got common ground is A, we finally had this discussion. B, I'm not saying you're right. C, I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is send me the evidence. I need facts.
You can. I'm not going to send it to you, but you can use your keyboard instead of typing stuff later. Punch in there, look up Joel Morrow, okay, or Ploger Transportation, which is his brother's company that is a fleet of over 100 trucks that get that mileage with company drivers. You can look up John Walco. Actually, if you don't know who he is, he was a Pittsburgh Power engineer for years, and he's the one that came up when they first started with EGR engines with a thing that they called the Dorothy that mounted on the side of the engine that caught all the soot before it went through the system again and clogged everything up. He designed that. They don't use that anymore because they have some better things. But go follow Joel Morrow, Henry Albert, Team Run Smart, and they show this data, and the other people that are following this stuff and doing it post their numbers with every damn mile, every gallon of fuel, where they've run. They've got technology in their trucks that maps out the entire trips. They have got some stuff that you'll be quite surprised at. I'm not going to go dig it for you. You can go look it up. I've been following them for years.
Okay, so where we got common ground, okay, is that A, it may be happening. B, I have to do due diligence.
It is happening.
Okay.
It's 100% happening.
Okay, so then my question is, why isn't this being brought out huge into the public domain? Because there's more savings.
Because people don't want to hear it. Yeah, people don't want to do things that are difficult.
But that's what I was going to say too. Most people probably just don't give a shit enough about it to.
They don't care.
Yeah, and I mean,
Rocky, how long has Kevin Rutherford been on the air? 25
since 2007.
Years?
About doing trucking social media?
Yes, 2007.
Really?
Yes.
Damn,
well,
bro.
He started he was on Sirius Satellite Radio.
What was that Mad Trucker Show?
Years and years. No, well, he was on the Trucker Channel.
Okay.
He started out
that's
at like
right,
midnight.
There was.
And then he got booted off of satellite radio a few years ago. So he has his own kind of network now. But he has spent 17, 18 years trying to teach owner operators this stuff and give them the information effectively for free. And most people don't want to hear it because when the very second that they thought, wait a minute, I've got to work at this, I've got to change me, I've got to change how I drive, I've got to change my truck, I've got to buy parts. That minute they want, they want a lollipop or they want a magic pill.
Now, is this including you have to change your rear end with this as well, or no?
Well, you don't have to. We're just saying that.
No, I'm just asking.
At this point, it's a cost benefit analysis. At $6 a gallon, okay, if you could save a mile per gallon over a period of a year or two, it would make sense to invest $6,000 in changing your rear ends. At whatever it is right now, 380, the math is not there to go that far. Now, if I have a choice between two trucks that I'm looking at, say it's an 07 Freightliner and it's a 264 with a direct drive or a 358 with an overdrive, I'm going to 100% pick the direct drive with the 264 because it's going to be a more efficient truck. But I'm not going to probably at this point, the math is not there to make that radical a change. But I am going to put an OPS on it, fleet air filter, run synthetic oil, good tires, that kind of stuff. I got to buy tires anyway, right?
A lot of it is the truck. If you go buy a 389 Peterbilt with big old stacks and 18-inch freaking air cleaners and all this shit that disturbs all the air, you instantly lose a mile per gallon on a truck with stacks and air cleaners on the outside than you do if you took those off and put everything under the truck. That's a mile per gallon. That's $10,000 a year right now with fuel at 380 a gallon.
Oh, do it. Oh, my God. Sorry to interrupt you guys, but on the other app, I'm getting like comments. And
to look cool.
Oh, sorry. Let me just say this real quick.
Okay.
So the comments is like, what's the average age of your listeners? And I put sad face, I'm 41. He said, what is it, over 40? And his second comment is a bunch of old farts with stents in their hearts and heart attacks. I just had a heart attack and stent. What an asshole. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did I just have this?
Well, I haven't had one, and I'm 10 years older than you, so I guess I'm lucky still. But no, it comes down to the truck. These guys want to go buy a truck that looks cool so that the people that are passing them that they don't know and don't give a shit about think that they look cool, right? And Larry used to say this all the time. If there was a meter on the side of the truck that showed how much money they had in the bank, right, it would be down in the red. Right? They got no money, but they got a truck that looks cool going down the road, passing people that they don't even know. They're not in it for money. They're in it to look cool. Right? So the truck can make a huge difference. An aerodynamic truck nowadays, spec right? And here's the other thing. Most of these dealers, if you go to order a new truck, and talk to the salesman, they don't know how to spec a truck. They absolutely do not know how to spec a truck. What transmission, what rear ends.
Is this only old trucks you could do this to, or you could do this in new trucks too?
They're doing it with brand new trucks.
Okay.
Volvo has the last several years, they have one with a D13 turbo compounded engine combined with the 11-speed or 12-speed with a super low gear in it for startability. And like 214 or 216 rear ends. These things out of the box, go put fuel in it and drive it over 10 miles a gallon. Out of the box.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it because look, I'm not a professional in this. I know Roger was all riled up about this for the last few days. But I mean, if somebody has been in the industry this long, they've been on the radio, like you guys said, they're documenting everything. I mean, I have no reason not to believe this. I might be wrong, but it sounds legit to me, but it's not something I'm into.
You also have to think about your operation, right? When we were door swingers and we were pulling van freight and getting a lower rate per mile than we are now with oversized, we're trying to save every penny we can. Well, dude, when I'm pulling a 14-foot wide parachute, I could do all the shit you ever wanted to do to a truck, and I'm still pulling a 14 wide parachute down the road. The fuel mileage is going to suck, but I'm getting $10 a mile, right? So you have to spec the truck to your operation. You don't buy a fucking triaxle one stack Mack with a window in the back to go haul vans coast to coast. You have to think about the operation that you're going to be doing, and then what kind of rate is that truck going to command? What are you going to be able to do with it? And then buy the truck. Kevin Rutherford always said, when you're looking for a truck, you're not looking for reasons to buy the truck. You're looking for reasons to not buy the truck. You're looking for red flags to figure out, okay, where's the problem with this truck. Oh, it's got the wrong gears. Oh, it's got the wrong motor. Oh, the wheelbase is too long or the wheelbase is too short, or that's what you're trying to figure out for whatever application that you're running. And speaking of running, I'm about to walk into a Longhorn and feed my fat 49-year-old ass. So I'm gonna bid y'all good evening.
All right,
Y'all have
buddy.
a
Enjoy your
All right, Chris.
bon appetit, bro.
The other day with Dexter.
Whatchamacallit? So, hey, I got a question for you since you're on here, Rocky. So, like, say with like horsepower, right? So, if you're looking at, say, if you're looking at like the 515, like Detroit engine Freightliners, you think that's overkill for dry vans, or is it still better to have a little bit like stronger horsepower engine?
No, because you need horsepower and you also need torque. And the DD platform, the DD15, great engine, but and a very good fuel efficient engine. Most of the time with the trucks, they're just spec'd wrong with the wrong differentials, or they put the wrong gears in the transmission. But now with the DT12 transmission, that's what I was thinking there a minute ago was, how many guys, if we were to ask on here, how many of you think you need an 18 speed to haul 80,000 pounds down the road? These guys want to go out, they want to try, I want an 18 speed for what? You don't need an 18 speed transmission unless you're hauling regularly 150, 175,000 pound loads. Okay. You don't need an 18. You're never going to use the bottom gears. By going from a 13 speed or a direct 10 speed or 13 or to an 18, you're going to instantly lose about probably 4 to 6 tenths a mile per gallon because of the extra rotating mass and everything drag in the transmission. Okay. So these guys, they want an 18 speed. A 13 speed on the top end is the same as an 18 speed. The only reason you need an 18 speed is to get that 175,000 pound load rolling. That's because you can split the lower gears, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay. You can split those gears and get out of the hole. So if you're not hauling those weights, startability is not an issue with a direct 10 speed in a truck with 264s and like a Detroit 12.7. And you'll get way better fuel economy. But these guys are so uneducated out here. They want to go buy a truck. Man, I want one with a 550 cat and an 18 speed for what? So I can go haul loads. I can go haul dry van freight. Well, that's a loser right there. That is a loser. You're costing yourself $15,000, $20,000 a year in fuel just to look cool and have an 18 speed. Doesn't make sense to me. They're more worried about what they look like going down the road than how much money they have in their bank account.
And then what about like, say for example, like all the new cars where everybody's tuning cars? Is there a way to tune trucks maybe, or no?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you can tune the trucks also. You can put tunes in them and you can turn them up. And just like Pittsburgh Power, they've got some tunes for the old 12.7s where they can get 600 plus horsepower out of them, 1,900, 2,000 foot-pounds of torque, put them on a dyno, and they're one of the best tuners for those engines. They just don't go in like your truck stop tune guy and go turn all your injector codes up to 75 and say, here you go, give me $600, and they gave you nothing. The guys think they did, but they get nothing out of that. But a properly tuned engine that's running good, overhead's been run, and everything. And if you got the right differentials, you're running the right tires. Tires alone can cost you a mile per gallon. If you're running, if you're running an Ironman tire or some of this ling long ding dong shit and whatever crap from other countries, all right? If you throw a set of ding dongs on the back of your truck, right, for duals, that's instantly a mile per gallon versus a 726 ELA Bridgestone or a Michelin X-Line Energy. Yeah, you saved $2,000 today buying those ding dongs, right? But you just cost yourself $12,000 this year in fuel.
So maybe these other like the bigger companies and like all these companies, maybe they don't want to mess with that stuff because I'm guessing a lot of their trucks are under warranty. So if they start like messing around with all this like fuel stuff that you guys are talking about, that's gonna put their trucks out of warranty.
Yes, that's another thing with the bigger fleets. Not only are they getting rid of their trucks between 400,000 and 500,000 miles before they get out of warranty, all right, they're getting rid of them and giving them back in, so they don't spend the extra money on a lot of it. Now, have you heard of Mesilla Valley out in New Mexico?
No.
Yeah.
Right, big fleet. They're internationals and all. They are one of the highest fuel mileage fleets in the country. Their trucks are spec'd right. They have aerodynamic stuff on them. They have the wheel covers on them. Their trailers have aerodynamic stuff on them, and they have their trucks governed down. They make the transmission shift points. They change all that so that it's not running real high up in RPMs before the transmission shifts, and all. But they run good tires. They don't run junk, and they're one of the highest fuel mileage fleets in the industry.
So maybe he'll
So
take examples from them.
Automotive. They run
What's
a
that?
lot of automotive, less than probably 20,000 pounds a load.
Yeah, and even at that, at 20,000 pounds of load. Now, if you're running in the mountains all the time and you're 80,000 versus somebody running that's 55,000, yes, there is a little fuel mileage loss. But if the truck is spec'd correctly and you know how to drive it, when you climb the hill, you burn a little fuel. But when the truck gets to the top of the hill with the adaptive cruise controls that are tracking your topography, it knows you're going downhill, so the engine will cut off and it rolls. So you're not burning fuel going down, making up for what you burnt going up. You're not burning it going down. So there's a big advantage to some of this stuff when it comes to fuel economy and all. And for a fleet like the size of them, think of how many millions of dollars they've saved over the years that they were able to keep in their pocket just because they didn't burn it out the stack.
Hey, listen, sorry guys, I gotta end this. I have to go do some real work, unfortunately. But thank you everybody for joining us. It was very informational thing live today, so I appreciate that. Happy Friday to everybody. Hopefully everybody got their paychecks. Hopefully you have some money on them, and hopefully everybody gets a good start to next week and you know, make it through Thanksgiving. So, all right, man. Have a good night. Bye bye.
All right, Bobby. Talk to you later.
Later.
Later. Bye.